cornerstone the builders rejected. Okay. Chosen ones. More than likely, you were the cornerstone that the builders rejected. It's not to be taken personal, but it's to make you see or understand who you are. You weren't made to fit in. Fitting in a lot of times can get you off track from the plans that God has for you. For instance, when you fit into when you're trying to fit in, you have to, how can I put this? You have to probably go a different way in order that God wanted you, in order to fit in, to please people, to be accepted by certain people. It's a lot of people, just like the Bible said, that they will reject God in front of man, or they will reject Jesus in front of man, and Jesus said he will reject them in front of the Father. That's people typically trying to fit in. They know that if they how can I put it? They know that if they represent a certain thing, or Jesus or God or anything like that in front of people, that group that they're trying to fit in will probably reject them at that point. They're probably, oh, he all into that God stuff, or he or she all into that stuff. So God specifically set chosen ones apart so they won't have to go through that. So they won't have to try to fit in and have like if God have a certain path for you, you have to go that way that he directed you. God orders the steps of a righteous man. So you can't reject God's path that he have for you, or the way he want things to go for you, just to fit in with the crowd, or to try to fit in with the so-called popular group or things like that, because you could be missing out on your whole calling in life just by trying to fit in, or worrying about what people may think about you. When you try to fit in, you typically worry about what people think about you. That's why God set his chosen apart. He intentionally made you not fit in. It's not for you to go and try your best to fit in. It's a reason that you don't fit in. And that's because he wants you to have a clear path to accomplish what he set out for you to do here. When you go trying to fit in, you're gonna neglect some of them principles and things that God set in your heart to do or to be. You can't overlook, especially with the way this world, where everything is just like, it's just like duh, like it's just like you gotta be like a dummy in order to fit. You gotta act like you don't know no better. You gotta act like you. That's not meant for the chosen ones. That's not meant for the chosen ones. I look around, I see some people you can look at and see, and you could tell like that's not you. You know better than that, but they gotta act like they don't in order to fit in with that crowd. And you could look at them and tell like that wasn't your calling in life. And you could tell that they even know that, but they gotta play like they don't, or play dumb in order to fit in with that crowd that they're trying to be a part of. And the crazy thing is this: that crowd is typically the most popular crowd. So that speaks volumes. If you have to play dumb and act like you don't know no better just to be a part of a popular group, then there's something wrong with the popular group. That's not for you. You have a different calling in life. If you don't fit in, don't try to. God made it that way. He made it that way for you. You will not reach your goal or your calling in life that God has for you by trying to fit in. You're going to have to neglect some of those principles that set in your heart and in your soul in order to fit in with these crowds nowadays. And God didn't mean for you to reject those principles that He set in your heart and your soul. You have to act on those. They're there for a reason. You're not to, just like it's the cornerstone that the builders rejected. It's meant for you to be rejected. You are the cornerstone that the builders rejected, and you've been rejected for a reason. I can understand the hate. I mean, not the hate. Excuse me. I'm sorry about. I can understand the pain that comes with being rejected. I can understand the pain that comes with being a black sheep in your family and amongst groups and things like that, and the hate that they give to you, you know. But it's not meant to make you crumble or fold. It's meant to as a repellent, so you won't even try. When people reject you and people black sheep you and things like that, don't even try to go around them. You let them have that. That is not meant for you to. But don't let that hurt and pain of the rejection make you just sit in anger and rot, because when you're angry, if you look around, the most hateful people get real old looking fast, because that's rotten to your bones. Like, you can't just sit around and rot like that in anger. If they rejected you, that means you have a clear, look at it as a good thing. You have a clear path. You don't have nobody to try to impress, because they rejected you anyway. Now you have a clear path to go and be who you were meant to be and need to be. That's how you got to look at it. Start working out. Start doing things, making yourself better. You have nobody to impress. God made it this way for you. He wants you to be, he set you apart to be alone so you could go and do His will that He set in your heart. This is a team sport, damn near. Satan got hit, the devil got his people who putting in the work, and God has His. But if you were chosen, you can't want to get traded. This is not a LeBron thing. You can't want to get traded to Satan's team. You got to accept your role on your team, which is God's team, and you've been chosen. You're a chosen one, and do what's in His will. You're not going to do that by trying to fit in. You're going to have to neglect what God put in. You probably, and especially in these groups and popular groups nowadays, with all this new age systems of believing things, you cannot be in these groups talking about God this, God that. They will reject you. Now you could go, they say you got to go preach the word of God and stuff like that. There's ways you could do that. But do that, but you can't try to fit in. You can't try to fit in. And that's just what He set you apart for a reason. And that's what it is. All right, peace, people. It's just always remember, it's the cornerstone that the builders rejected. And you be that. Don't try to fit in. It's not for you. God set you apart for a reason. All right, peace.